So we shall get started. Okay, we're very, very proud at the college that we were graded officially outstanding at the beginning of the year through every aspect of the Ofsted framework. And this is only due to the passion and the expertise that our teachers hold here. We are very, very proud of our vocational specialists, and the training that you'll receive from them will be outstanding. As a team, our intent is to make sure that you as learners will develop the trade skills that you need to not only achieve your qualification, but also to meet the needs of the industry employers. We do work with local employers, both large and small. We will do site visits and work placements with them, which we'll find out more about within this presentation. And also that we use employers to consolidate practical and theory learning. Our curriculum does respond to the local need, which does make us outstanding. As you will see, there are many new developments going on in the Crawley area. Our population has increased by over 22% over the last 3 decades, which has caused for a lot of redevelopment in Crawley town centre. I mean, you only need to walk around to see the developments in Telford Place and the county buildings, but also on the outskirts of the area, you'll see lots of new homes being developed. And it's working with these industry specialists that we continue to develop our curriculum to meet their needs. And we do this by having employer panels, and we meet with them regularly each term to make sure that we make adaptations to our curriculum. You'll also find within our study programmes that as learners, you will be challenged because you will be set individualised targets throughout the learning programme. We also have a dedicated additional support team for learners that have an educational healthcare plan, and more information about our additional support team can be found on the website. We also have an ACES sessions where you will be allocated personal tutors, and they will be developing your independence and soft skills that you would need for development into employment. Some of the subjects that they look at are democracy, e-safety, environment, law, money matters, and mental health. And this actually builds a great big programme for you to enhance your learning. But also, if you do come into the college without having achieved your maths and English GCSE, we have a dedicated team of specialists that will help you to make sure that you gain the grades that you need to progress on to the next level of course. Now, I'm going to sort of introduce you now to some of the other members of my team that are here with me today. So I have Barry, who's my Deputy Head of Learning. I also have Kian and Dave, who are from the electrical team, Danny, Richard and Spencer from the plumbing team, who are going to take over the rest of the presentation. Barry's going to join us now to talk about work experience.
Thank you, Leslie. Yes. Delighted to be able to speak about work experience. Over the last couple of years, we've really forged lots of relationships with lots of local employers who take our students during their training and give them a real taste of real industry experience. The students benefit from this massively. They go out and they gain confidence, and they get a chance to put their new skills that they learn at college into practice in the workplace. They get to meet people who are in the industry and learn from their experience, and they get a real taste of what the industry that they're looking into. That some of the people that we work with, our partners, are up there on the screen. Buxton's have recently completed a big development right next to the college, and we had the pleasure of visiting them on many occasions during that build. We've also got Mears, who work for the council and do a large contractor for the council, and we get a lot of our students out to them. Quite often this leads to employment opportunities through the apprenticeship route. We also work closely with Taylor Wimpey and Wilmot Dixon. These are massive developers and have got loads of work going on in our area. We've recently struck up a great relationship with some Modwin Homes who are working out on the Copthorne roundabout, and they're building a huge development, as well as the work experience programs. We benefit from lots of site visits, and we're building very close relationships with these partners, which all benefit the students while they're here, help them develop their interests and their skills, but also it quite often leads to employment. So that's a little bit of a roundup, a whistle-stop tour of work experience. I'd now like to introduce a short video of our workshops. This is in place of the real guided tour that you would have got if we were doing this live. So if you can roll the video, that'd be great. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'd now like to hand you over to Kian Bishop from our electrical department.
Hi everyone, my name's Kian. I'm part of the team in the electrical department, Crawley College. I joined the level 2 Sitting Guilds 2365. Okay, you will need at least a level 3 in English and maths, working towards level 4 within the college. Adult learners, you will need to take an aptitude test for maths and English. For the adults, the course is a long day and an evening. Full-time students would be over 3 days a week. The course itself is split 50-50 over practical and theory. The practical itself covers materials and hand skills for twin and earth cables, metal trunking, conduit, trays, steel wired armoured, and within these you'll be installing lighting power for industry, commercial and domestic. For the actual practical course, you will need some hand tools and PPE, steel toe boots, gloves, etc., which we will give you a list in our course handbook. At the end of this, there is a practical assessment to actually test the skills that you have learned throughout the time with us. The theory is classroom based. The topics will be health and safety, science, electro-technology, communication. These are assessed at the end by an online multiple choice exam. Again, you will need some textbooks, pens, pencils, stationeries, notepad, calculator, again, which will be in the course handbook. I'll pass you over to Dave for level 3.
Good evening, I'm David O'Connell. I'm doing the level 3 electrical course, 2365. It's really a progression course for level 2. You go on to level 3, and 2 and 3 together give you your underpinning knowledge for your electrical qualification and for your NVQ qualification. The level 3 course is really all day theory. There's a bit of practical for the fault finding and inspection and testing, but generally speaking, it's a standard day, 9 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. And we get through the course. There's 7 units to complete. There's a design project to complete as well. And there's test and inspection, covers everything from science, test and inspection, everything you would need to be able to make decisions about electrical installation, design and installation and commissioning when you leave at level 3. So we're taking you in at level 2, giving you the tools and the expertise to make decisions about electrical installations and how to wire up basic offices, factories and domestic installations. Okay, I'll hand you over now to the plumbing people.
Hiya, my name's Spencer Davis. I teach the level 1 course plumbing at Crawley College. So the plumbing course, level 1, you would be doing half theory and half practical. The classroom based, there's about 10 different topics we would cover, and each of these would have a follow-on exam for them. So you wouldn't do one big exam at the end of the course, you would do modules and then we do an exam for each of these. So some of the topics we cover are, we would do safe working practices, which is like a health and safety module, and then you would do an exam on that. Then we go on to plumbing science, which sort of covers all the sort of underpinning knowledge of plumbing, how water behaves under different conditions. Then we go on to copper pipe work, plastic pipe work and LCS pipe work, looking at hot and cold water systems, how they're piped using this various different types of pipe work. Like I say, all of them subjects will have an exam. We go on to installation and maintenance, which looks at central heating systems. And then the last few topics we cover would be things like environmental and the structure of the construction industry. So that's the theory side covered. For practical, that would be, you spend the other half of your course, your 3 days at college would be spent in the workshop. So you'd start off learning how we use all the different tools, gaining the hand skills. So a lot of it will be using the pipe benders to learn all the different types of bends, soldering, and all the different methods of joining copper pipe. So we would do quite a bit of copper pipe work. There's plastic pipe work and LCS, which is like a commercial grade. So you become proficient in all of them different types of pipe work. Once we've had the training, we would assess you on these. So you'll have a City and Guilds portfolio, which you would work through. Everything you do in the workshop will be tested. We pressure test everything and make sure, obviously, our work doesn't leak, because we need to be producing leak-free work. I think that's about it, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's about it for the level 1. Obviously, if you pass your level 1, you're pretty much guaranteed, depending on obviously passing all your exams and passing all the assessments, you're guaranteed a place on the level 2 to progress up. I think that's it. I think that's it for the level 1. I'll hand you to my colleague Danny, who's going to talk to you about level 2. All right.
Hi, my name's Danny. I'm one of the lecturers here. I'll just talk to you a bit about the level 2 course. Essentially, level 2 just builds on what Spence was talking about with the level 1. So you could actually come straight into the level 2 as a full-timer if you have a sort of a 3 and a 4 in English and maths. That's sort of ideally what we're looking for. There's obviously a bit of wiggle room sometimes, but it depends. So we come in and the course is at 50-50 practical and theory. So I think there's a little bit more theory in the level 2 than there is in level 1. In the workshop, we start off, we sort of do the same sort of training that we do in the level 1. We sort of make frames, show you how to bend copper, solder, we show you how to thread and fit LCS pipework, plastic push fit. And we start making frames, and as we sort of progress onto more complex things, and we try and make it a bit more real world. So you have to install a radiator with low carbon steel pipe. There's cloakroom to do, there's guttering, soil pipe, and towards the end of you come in and you install a bathroom suite and an airing cupboard, which you'll come in and you'll do like what's called a block week. So you'll come in for the whole week. In the classroom, it's as I said, there's a little bit more theory. I think there's 9 exams overall. They're all online multiple choice exams. We start off with health and safety, because obviously building site's a dangerous place. That we then do, what's the one we do next? That we do plumbing science, which sort of underpins all of the plumbing knowledge. There's one about the materials we use, pipework materials, fixings, that type of thing. Then we do cold water, so where the cold water comes from, how it's treated, all the way through to basically drawing water out the tap, all the fittings and valves and things in between. Then we do hot water, which again builds on what we learn in cold water. So we look at different heaters like combi boilers, cylinders, instantaneous water heaters, single point storage heaters. Then we do central heating. So we look at the different system layouts, different boilers, different types of valves, different control systems. Then we do a sanitation and drainage, which is soil pipes, waste pipes, sinks, basins, that type of thing. Then we move on to electrical. So we do, it's sort of like electrical safety and the ways or basics of domestic systems are set out. There's also a self-study module to do. And at the end, you come out of that with your 6035 level 2. And from there, you can choose what you want. So the ideal thing would be to get an apprenticeship, which is what my colleague Richard is about to talk to you about.
Good evening. So for those students who are lucky enough to get an employer in the plumbing industry, we have 2 apprenticeship routes. The main one for plumbing takes about 4 years and covers basically the same stuff as the level 2 course. It's broken down into 4 phases, and in each phase you would learn the same topics as the level 2 full-time course. But we include some more advanced information. So, for example, in cold water, whereas the full-timers would just learn direct and indirect cold water systems, we would also include private water systems, so boreholes and wells, and also boosted cold water systems. And that would continue through all the other topics as well. So hot water, central heating, sanitation, rainwater systems. And as I said, that's broken down into 4 phases, and each phase builds on the knowledge of the previous one. So in phase 2, we include more information, so the sort of fault finding and maintenance of the systems, and you build that up through the 4 phases, culminating in a final large assessment at the end. It does differ from the normal level 2 in as much as, whereas the full-time level 2 has an exam every month after a topic is finished, the apprenticeship would have just one big exam at the end of each phase. So you'll learn all the knowledge all the way through, and then sit an exam and a practical assessment at the end of the phase. If you pass those, then you go on to the next phase and continue your way through. As well as doing the college theory and practical assessments, you'll also have to do a work-based log. So while you're working with your employer, you'll have to fill out a portfolio of different assessments, health and safety tasks, installations, and you'll do 2 work logs. So one on all the basic core stuff, we call it, so all the central heating, cold water, hot water systems, and then there'll be one which is specific to the type of fuel we would deliver, which will be gas. So you'll have to do in the 4th phase, there'll be a gas portfolio to complete as well. So once you've passed all the phase assessments and completed 2 portfolios, then you'll sit your final assessment, and you'll become a fully qualified level 3 plumber, and you will have also achieved your gas assessments during that last phase as well. We do have another apprenticeship running, which will be just a gas apprenticeship technician, and that takes around 2 years, but just focuses on gas equipment. So the apprentice will come in for 1 day a week, spend the rest of the time working with their employer and completing a gas portfolio. And again, at the end of that assessment period, they'll sit an exam and practical assessments, and they'll be gas qualified. If we could move to the next slide. So T-levels and H&C, I believe Barry's going to be talking about that.
Thank you, Richard. I'd just like to give a really quick, brief overview of T-levels and the HNC qualifications that we offer. T-levels is something that we are introducing next year, and it's currently under development. But what are T-levels? It's a brand new qualification. It's a 2-year technical qualification that is launched this September. It's a full-time course. 80% of the time is in college, 20% is out on an industry placement. So again, there's a massive connection to industry there. There's also a minimum of 45 days industry placement to be completed with an employer to pass the course. T-level has an equivalent of 3 A-levels, and the progression route from it is into either a higher apprenticeship, possibly university, or skilled employment. The HNC, which we are currently offering, is a level 4 course. It's in the construction and the built environment, so it's part of the progression route from it is off into site management. That course is live and well and happening at the moment, and it's in higher education. More information about all of these is available on the website. As I say, it's just a whistle-stop overview, and happy to field questions, but there is plenty on the website about that, and there's also a specific webinar that you can log into. Thank you. Back to Richard, I think.
Yep, I shall. We do have commercial courses. So, as I was mentioning, the apprenticeship does tie in with some of these. So, like the gas qualifications. So, the plumbing apprenticeship and the gas apprenticeship. You'll at the end of those, you come out with your gas safe qualification. So you have CCN1 and CENWAT, which covers boilers and water heaters. We do have, like, as you can see on the screen there, some standalone sort of commercial courses as well. So the CCN1 is run standalone. We also do courses in unvented hot water systems. So for the installation of unvented cylinders. There's also a new managed learning program. So to develop gas knowledge if you want to go on to do your CCN1. And we also do off-tech courses for people who want to get into boiler servicing with oil supplies. And I believe Dave is going to talk about the electrical commercial courses.
Thanks, Richard. Hello again. We offer a number of courses for CPD for electricians. One of the main ones is the 18th edition, which is the update and the full course. That's a 3-day course we offer, usually Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, assessment on a Wednesday. It's assessed by a multiple choice exam, and it's a requirement for electricians to be practicing under the 18th edition. So it's an update exam, and it's a requirement for electricians to be doing that course. The other courses are the 2, 3, 9, 1, 50, 51 and 52, which is all test and inspection courses. They're delivered over 5 to 6 days in the college. And again, these are courses for electricians who want to do inspection and testing and learn more about commissioning and testing electrical installations. There's also a PAT testing course, which is a 2-day course for people who want to test and make sure that portable appliances are safe to use in offices, schools, and different establishments. And the final course we offer is the 2396 electrical design. This is really a course for progressive electricians who have done all of their training, who've got experience of design on site and who want to take a qualification to reflect that level of expertise. And this is done over 7 evenings. There's a written paper to complete, and there's also a 60-hour project to complete. So it's quite an involved qualification, the 2396, but it's a very highly regarded one in industry. And those are our electrical CPD commercial courses. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, team, for that. That's some comprehensive information there about the courses that we have to offer. I would like just to pass on a short apology, because at the beginning of the presentation I forgot to introduce myself, and I'm Leslie Edwards, and I'm Head of Learning for the area. So apologies about that. We're now going to move on to some of the questions that you have been asking during the question and answer box. So the first one that I've got is to the plumbing team. So my son really wants to do plumbing. Can he go straight on to the apprenticeship route, or does he have to do a course first?
So for the apprenticeship, for the new apprenticeship, you do have to have 2 grade 4s in English and maths. That is a requirement. You obviously have to have the job and a grade 4 in English and maths to join the course. So he would need to do that first. If he's got them, great. Yeah, he can absolutely jump straight in, providing his employer meets the range of work, obviously, but that would be done in an interview.
Lovely, thank you, Danny. There's a question here that I think that I may be able to answer, but then if the team can just feel free to add in to anything that I miss. The question is that if the students are in college for 3 days a week, what do they do on the other 2 days? Is that home learning? Well, students can do home learning because there's always our site that has additional tasks for learners to access, our Moodle site. But often our learners actually get employment for the additional 2 days while they're out of college, or these days can be used for work experience. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, team, to that?
I mean, I think, yeah, it would be a good sort of time to even get some work experience, and hope that that leads to a job. It could be that you just work with a plumber 2 days a week. You might not have the grades to necessarily move to the apprenticeship, so you can use that year, get your level 2 or level 1 or whatever, get your GCSEs up to level 4 and work with a plumber or electrician 2 days a week, and you're getting the hands-on experience, and hopefully you're earning a bit of money as well.
Yeah, and we do, as we said before in the presentation, we do have contacts with employers to help find work experience, and a dedicated team towards that. So you know, although you may have your own ideas of where you might want to go on to do work experience, we can help with that. And moving on from what we've just discussed, we do have a question regarding work experience, saying, do I have to do work experience as part of a plumbing or electrical course? Now, before I pass on to the team, I just want to give some breakdown of that. So yes, work experience is an expectation of the course for where it's relevant for the learner and at the stage of they are in within the curriculum. There are different levels and hours needed for work experience. So for a level 1, the minimum number of hours would be 15 hours of work experience and work-related learning. For a level 2, we're looking at 25 hours within the year of work experience and 25 hours of work-related learning. And for a level 3, it's at 30 hours of work placement. So obviously there's lots of industry experience that you'll be able to get during the course. Has anybody got anything that they would like to add to the work experience question? No? Okay, this is a question that's come up regarding uniform. Do learners have to wear a uniform both in the plumbing and electrical department? Guys, would you like to answer that?
In the workshop, it's a requirement you have to have steel toe-cap boots, flame retardant overalls, and gloves. And you'll need to have some goggles for like soldering and things like that. But for the classroom, you know, sort of appropriate kind of sort of jeans or jogging bonds or whatever. It's not. It's, you know, something you're really comfortable sitting around in. No shorts. Yeah, no shorts in the workshop. You don't have to wear overalls in the electrical, do you? No. So you just need steel toe-cap boots for electrical and some gloves. You won't have to. You're not allowed to wear shorts. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Lovely. Okay. Another question regarding apprenticeships. If you start a full-time course but then find an apprenticeship placement, can you then switch to just attending 1 day a week in line with the work placement?
That's a good question, and something that does happen quite often. And we would generally sort of give it to about Christmas to transfer over. After that, because the apprenticeship you're moving at a much sort of slower rate, so only 1 day a week. So we would sort of say up till Christmas, yeah, we would move you over. But after that, we would generally get you to finish the course you're on, and then you can normally skip the first year anyway, so you're not really losing any time.
Thank you. Okay, another question is what happens if I don't have maths or English GCSE? Can I still do a course? I've got a little bit of information regarding the new guidelines that are coming out for the college as a group regarding maths and English. So for a level 1 course, all you would need to have is a keen interest within either electrical or plumbing, and be working towards your maths and English GCSE. For a level 2 qualification, we're looking at 4 GCSEs at 3 or above. But I know that the plumbing team and the electrical team, there are some anomalies there, that the guidance that they would like to offer towards that as well. And for the level 3 programme, then you would need to have your GCSEs. But team, would you just like to add on what your expectations are for the level 2?
So yeah, so for the level 2, ideally we're looking for at least 1-4, and we do actually have an aptitude test as well for both, because we sort of, whilst we do want to take everyone on, your English and maths does need to be at a certain sort of level, especially even for the level 1. It's not a very, very easy level 1. There is quite a lot, although it is level 1, there is sort of a certain degree of like English and maths and technical language in it. So we would still do an aptitude test for the level 2 and the level 1 as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Okay, there's a question here regarding electrical courses, and what kind of careers can I do if I take an electrical course?
Many careers. You can do anything from industrial wiring to domestic to commercial. So you can do electrical wiring. A lot of our students have also gone on to work for companies doing, with some students just accepted on a solar PV company, working for them. They're going to train him in and give him a career installing solar panels and managing and looking after solar panel networks. So it's quite a varied career. You also join other companies doing things like light and design or renewable energy technologies. It's all there if you want to do it. It depends on what your ambitions are and how much opportunity you see when you look at different companies. But it's all happening. Lots of improvements. The big one at the moment as well is electrical vehicle charging ports. That's a big growth industry at the moment, because every home, well, a lot of homes are going to need electrical charging ports for their electric cars in the future. And that's part of a big government and European initiative as well. So that's going to be a growing industry, or part of the industry in the coming years. Yes, and so really the opportunities are vast in the electrical field, because things are changing all the time.
Oh, thank you, Dave. Okay, another question regarding plumbing. Do I have to buy my own tools to do a plumbing course?
Right, sorry. Yes, there is a tools list that we would supply you on interview. Obviously, you need the boots and overalls, PPE, and there is a small selection of tools you need. You don't need them right from the start of the course, so we have got a selection of tools that we do use in the lessons. But there is a tools list that you'll be required, just basic hand tools, and we would supply that list to you on sort of interview. Is that okay?
Yeah, brilliant, thank you. Okay, we have another question here. What course should I do in order to get a job as an electrician? Would I need to do further study after level 3?
Hello again. Ideally, if you want to get a job as an electrician, you would look for a company when you start, and you'd be taken on the MVQ route, which is the best way of doing it. And that would be 4 days a week working for the company and 1 day a week attending college. That would be a 3-year apprenticeship attending college. You'd do all your units over that time. If you can't get an employment with a company or an apprenticeship, then the other route we do is the 2365 level 2 full-time course, which does all the same units as the apprenticeship. You don't need to be employed to do it. So you can do all the units on the level 2, achieve those units, then go on to do the level 3, 8202, and get the rest of the units. So all of those units combined make up the technical certificate for the MVQ, which can then be transferred into the MVQ scheme. What you need to do at level 3 then is try and get an employer who's an electrical contractor, and they will take you on the MVQ scheme and transfer your level 2 and level 3 into that qualification and give you the MVQ portfolio, and you'll do the AM2 and a few other short courses to get you the electrical apprenticeship qualification. If that's not possible, you can go into the domestic market with level 3 and join a local company after you've done your level 3 and just start doing domestic and doing different work and get the experience that way, and do it from a different angle. But there's more than one way to achieve working in the electrical industry, and both ways have the same end result really, in that you get to where you want to go whether it's through the MVQ route or working under what's really the Part P NIC scheme, which is domestic. Okay.
Yeah, brilliant. I've got a final question here that's actually aimed at both electrical and plumbing. So, do you do part-time evening courses to qualify as an electrician or a plumber? I'm looking for a career change.
We don't do an evening course only. We do a level 2 day evening course for adult learners and people who want to do the level 2 in 1 year. And that's from 8:45 in the morning till about 8 o'clock in the evening that runs. It's a long day, but you get a whole level 2 out of that after 1 year. So it's hard work, but it's a quick year and it's a very good return on your time. But what about the plumbing? Yeah, sorry, it's the same for the plumbing. I should have known that, but same course for the plumbing, day evening for the adults. And again, you get your level 2 in plumbing after 1 year.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you. I think that's all of the questions answered, but if you do have any further questions, please do let us know. We really have enjoyed sort of presenting our outstanding department to you, and we look forward to receiving your applications. Thank you very much for attending.
Thank you.